Dr. Proctor and the fart powder was inspired by my daughter. She always asked me to tell stories, and this particular summer she asked me to tell a story that she wanted a little girl to be in the story and a little boy. The boy had to be shorter and smaller than the girl because she doesn't like big boys that much. And she also wondered if there could be a dinosaur in it and a mad professor. I said I'm not too sure about the dinosaur, but I can come up with a pretty mad professor. And I also asked her, actually I more or less begged her if there could be some farting in the story. And she's not so much fond of farting as I am, so she said, okay, but don't overdo it, okay? And so I came up with this story, and it was a really short story, but it was funny, and she loved it. And a couple of days later, I thought that this character, this small boy, this really small boy, he's got a sort of an Elvis look, Elvis hairstyle with sideburns, although he's just a small boy, and freckles. And I really like that guy. In Norwegian he's called Bulle. In the English edition it's Nilly. And I thought that, okay, I have to make a story with this little boy and his friend Lisa and the mad professor Dr. Proctor. And he has invented a powder that makes people fart. It was originally, he tried to invent something that would stop people farting, for example, if they went to parties and to funerals and so on. Anyway, Bulle, he comes up with this idea that if you make this powder extremely powerful, you can send people to the moon without having to build a rocket. And these three people, Dr. Proctor and Nilly and Lisa, they're just beautiful friends, and they're sort of lonely people on their own, but when they find each other, finally they have two friends. So it's a story about friendship, and they have to overcome some difficulties, of course. So they more or less have to save the Norwegian National Day, the 17th of May, because things happen in the story that will totally destroy the celebration, but the farting powder will hopefully save the day. After the Dr. Proctor's farting powder was released, the friends of my daughter, they were really impressed with the story, and they came to her at school and told her that she really loved the story, and that they had heard that she had been, part of the making of the book. And she said, yes, I more or less made up the story, the original story, the really short story that included the dinosaur. And the book is okay, but the original story, that's just great, much better than the book. So I sort of I've been challenged by her friends, to tell the original story, but I can't remember the original story. But actually, I'm not sure it was that great. In the first Dr. Proctor book, I think I really like the scene where you have the teacher, Miss Strobe, and she can relate to this little boy who is, he's a fast talker and he's a clever talker, and he's a little too smart for his own good. But this sort of strict and a bit angry and scary teacher, she really falls in love with this little boy, and she's trying to hide it, how much she likes him. So she's talking hard to him, but she's having a hard time not laughing at him, because he's a real funny guy. And I like that scene, this teacher who tries to save face, or tries to stay angry and serious, and this guy who melts her heart. Bulle, or Nilly as he is called in the English edition, he's a small guy, and he's, you know, even less than small. He's really tiny, and he's a guy who has to use his strong sides to you know, to compete with the rest, and to make a place for himself in at school, and in the street where he lives, and he sort of compensate his tininess with being a really clever talker and a funny guy. And you know, the big boys, they don't think and talk as fast as he does. Sometimes that gets him in trouble, but most of the times it saves the day, you know, for himself and for his friends, because it's his way, you know, of fighting, because he's a little fighter, and he has a strong sense of what's right and what's wrong. On the other hand, he's not too particular about what methods he uses to get what he wants, and he can't be trusted all the time. He does tell a lie or two, but at the end of the day, he's a good guy. He means well. He wants everybody to have a good time, and you know, he's the guy you probably want him to win, because his friend Lise, she is more, you know, the nice girl who always tells the truth, and doesn't exaggerate when she tells stories, and she's nice also. But Bulle, he's the charmer, you know.